Tyler Perry has spent 2 decades building an entertainment empire on feel-good comedies, inspirational melodramas, and billion-dollar studio deals. But this week, the man who turned Medea's sass into a global brand finds himself facing a stunning civil suit, one that seeks a jaw-dropping $260 million and alleges a years-long pattern of workplace power plays, unwanted advances, and retaliation. If the claims are true, they could rattle every corner of his empire. If they're false, Perry's attorneys say the suit is nothing more than a high-stakes shakedown. Either way, the allegations have already sparked one of the biggest he said showdowns Hollywood has seen in years. Before we unpack the timeline, the receipts, and what this means for Perry's carefully curated image, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, drop your early verdict in the comments, and smash subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive. You got the headline first, right here on Hollywood Daily Reports. The man challenging Tyler Perry is Derek Dixon, better known to BET audiences as Dale, the unlucky convenience store clerk from Perry's White House thriller, The Oval. In a 45-page complaint filed June 13th, Dixon accuses Perry of dangling career breaks, casting, script development, even promises to produce his own pilot, only to turn those professional pathways into personal pressure points. Quid pro quo harassment, the lawsuit calls it, opportunities allegedly traded for romantic or sexual compliance. Perry's legal team calls the whole narrative fabricated, the work of an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. So how did two men who once toasted the grand opening of Tyler Perry's studios in Atlanta get here? According to Dixon's filing, that 2019 studio launch party was exactly where the relationship began. Dixon was working for an events company. Perry was hosting Hollywood royalty at his new 330-acre backlot. The suit says Dixon was assigned to greet high-profile guests, which required frequent conversation with the studio boss himself. Apparently sparks, of some kind, flew. Phone numbers were swapped, late-night texts followed, and within months, Dixon landed a role on one of Perry's BET Plus shows. From here, the allegations get darker. Dixon claims that once he joined the cast of Ruthless, the friendly messages turned strange and untowardly. Then came a January 2020 invite to Perry's sprawling Douglas County home, framed, the suit says, as a casual creative hangout. There were drinks, there was a guest room offered so Dixon wouldn't drive home buzzed. There was, according to Dixon, an assault that changed everything. Perry, of course, flatly denies that any misconduct occurred. In many Hollywood harassment stories, the alleged victim exits the project and the phone calls stop. Here, Dixon continued working. He even accepted a new part on The Oval. The lawsuit explains that seeming contradiction with one sentence. Dixon immediately understood that his job security depended on his relationship with Perry. In other words, accept the discomfort or risk the role. Whether that pressure was real or perceived is exactly what a jury may someday weigh. By mid-2020, things allegedly escalated again. Dixon claims he filmed an episode in which his character, Dale, was shot 4 times. A plot twist that looked to him like termination. After wrap, the suit says, Perry invited Dixon to his trailer, poured more drinks, asked personal questions. Are you attracted to me? And, when rebuffed, allegedly resorted to force. Dixon says he walked out nauseous, anxious, and terrified his career was over. Yet neither man cut contact. Dixon's complaint details a private island cast party in the Bahamas, more unwanted advances, and a December spiral into physical exhaustion. By early 2021, a doctor reportedly prescribed Dixon antidepressants for stress he linked to Perry's ongoing behavior. The filings say a June 2021 meeting at Perry's house, pitched as a creative session about Dixon's own pilot, Losing It, ended in yet another assault. If the pattern Dixon describes is true, it echoes other Hollywood power imbalance stories. A gatekeeper offering dream roles, then allegedly attaching hidden costs. But Perry's attorney counters that Dixon is the one attaching costs, specifically 9-figure costs, to a friendship that fizzled when the Starmaker didn't greenlight Dixon's pilot. Tyler will not be shaken down, Matthew Boyd said in a statement, projecting total confidence the case will fail. Still, it's impossible to ignore the timing. Perry just expanded his content deal with Amazon, lined up a futuristic thriller series, and announced he'll direct at least 2 new features before year-end. Each project depends on an image of reliability. Even unproven claims can slow big-budget momentum. That may explain why Perry's team responded in hours, calling the lawsuit a scam, rather than the Hollywood classic, no comment. Silence seeds narrative. Perry's empire can't afford that. Financially, the $260 million figure jumps off the page, multiples higher than most civil assault cases. Dixon's lawyers justify it by combining damages for lost income, emotional distress, and punitive penalties designed to compel change. Skeptics already ask, how does a recurring BET role translate to 9-figure losses? Dixon's camp hasn't itemized yet, but one thing is certain: astronomical numbers guarantee headlines. The case also raises tricky questions about consent dynamics inside Black Hollywood. Tyler Perry Studios is the rare billion-dollar lot built by a Black entrepreneur. It's a pipeline for scores of Black actors and crew who still see mainstream studios as tough gates to crash. Dixon's lawsuit suggests even that dream space can breed exploitation if power goes unchecked. Perry's defenders argue the claim weaponizes the very access he's famous for giving. Legally, much will hinge on evidence beyond he said, he said. Are there voicemails, texts, production schedule shifts, or witnesses who corroborate Dixon's story? The complaint references aggressive messages, but they aren't yet public. Expect both sides to leak chosen receipts the minute discovery begins. We've seen this pattern. Private DMs become public fodder. Each snippet dissected on social feeds before a judge ever rules on admissibility. The optics war is already underway. Dixon's attorneys issued a single line. The complaint speaks for itself, signaling they'll let the 45 pages dominate press cycles. Perry's camp, by contrast, framed Dixon as opportunist, an individual who got close to Tyler for what appears to be a setup. That language invites followers to see Dixon not as victim, but as hustler hunting a payout. One curveball complicating perception. Dixon says he moved to Santa Monica in January 2023 to put distance between himself and Perry. Yet the suit also claims Perry kept dangling production deals into 2024 to stop Dixon from exposing the dark side. Skeptics ask, if fear drove Dixon away, why accept creative pitches? Supporters counter, abusers often leverage new opportunities to keep alleged victims silent. Both arguments highlight how messy power swap relationships can be to untangle. The next procedural step is likely mediation, standard in Georgia civil courts. If talks fail, depositions begin, and that's where transcripts turn irresistible. Attorneys grill both men under oath. Each contradiction risks perjury, and parts of those sessions often leak. Dixon may have to explain why he stayed on the Oval after he says things got intolerable. Perry must account for any messages that read as flirtatious or coercive. Jurors, if the case gets that far, will hear every awkward line. For Perry, the glare is especially bright because his brand stands on moral storytelling. Medea lectures wayward teens. Faith-based arcs end in redemption. Even his new Amazon films aim to uplift. Allegations of quid pro quo pressure threaten that moral pillar. Secondary repercussions could touch his Georgia studio tax credits, where state lawmakers keep a close eye on public controversies that reflect on Hollywood's southern hub. For Dixon, victory, legal or PR, could open or close doors. Hollywood loves whistleblowers once they win. It sidelines them if they can't prove the claims. His request for $260 million ups the stakes. A settlement far below that figure might still feel huge to the public, but could be spun as partial vindication for Perry. Is Tyler Perry guilty of the behavior Dixon describes? Or is this a case of ambition turning into accusation once Hollywood promises don't pan out? We don't have that answer yet. What we do know, the lawsuit's shock value, the dollar amount, the celebrity level, the betrayal narrative, virtually guarantees a months-long media circus. And in that circus, careers, reputations, and maybe even future studio projects hang in the balance. Do you believe Dixon's allegations, or are you siding with Perry's no shakedown defense? Hit like if this breakdown kept you locked in, and remember to subscribe for the latest celebrity gist.